related to one niche industry. But overall, yeah, real median wages, purchasing power is higher today than it is 50 years ago. Hate to be that guy. Hate to be that guy.
When it comes to products, but not when it comes to the ownership, and when it comes to car ownership, when it comes to house ownership, when it comes to more critical things, I would say that purchasing power is down. Yes, we have cheaper products. Yes, we can buy more clothes, but we don't have the same.
The reason that purchasing power is down in home ownership has nothing to do with competition in the workforce, and all to do with megacorps buying up single family homes and boomers having like 3 properties and holding on to them until the day they die, right? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Right? So thank you so much for trying to give me some type of tangential specific industry to attempt to refute my claim that we have more competition in the workforce today and more average macro purchasing power, which should be the only relevant stat that we look at. Now, I do agree that undocumented immigrants have a downward pressure on wages, but the reason why I think they have a downward pressure on wages isn't because there's more competition in the workforce. In fact, they're more likely to work than natural US-born citizens, but we must remember they then turn around and they spend that money in the same economy. And typically when we see more productive providers to the economy working and then spending their money inside of the economy, we see that purchasing power goes up and wages go up over time. Once again, the evidence for this would be to compare America today to 50 years ago, or America 50 years ago to 50 years before that. Now, the real reason why we see that undocumented immigrants have a downward pressure on wages in America is because they have less bargaining power to hold against their employer, right? It makes sense. Point number 1, they don't have long-term survivability in the market. They're undocumented immigrants that could be deported. Point number 2, they could be deported, so their employer could exploit that and kind of leverage that fact over them. Point number 3, they don't have access to federal systems of benefit. So if they're unemployed, they're fucked. They can't file for Section 8 federal food stamps, assistance, Medicaid, etc. So for these reasons and more, they need a job, need it. So they have less bargaining power to leverage against their employer when negotiating wages. That's why they have lower wages on average. That's why they have a downward pressure on average real median wages. However, if we were to offer them amnesty and we were to give them residency or citizenship, then none of these things would be true. They'd have just as much bargaining power as you or I, meaning that they'd actually, at that point in time, have an upward pressure on real median wages. Once again, another way how you are able to point out something that is bad of undocumented immigration that would actually be good if we were to offer them a pathway to residency or citizenship.
Okay, I'll respond to that. First of all, this idea that, these people, they spend money in the American economy. No, the fuck they don't. Do you know 5% of Mexico's GDP is remittance? Do you know what remittance is? That means 5% of Mexico's GDP is Mexican illegal immigration and immigrants bringing their salary and bringing it into the Mexican economy. That's 5% of Mexico's fucking economy. So that's not true. And the second thing.
Wait, let me respond to that. Do you have any reason to believe that undocumented immigrants are more remittance than legal immigrants?
Hey, I let you go on for a while. I did. Now I lost my train of thought. So that was fucked up, bro.
I'm sorry for making you lose your train of thought. Do you feel like answering the question? Do you have any reason to believe that undocumented immigrants send more remittance than legal immigrants?
Yeah, because a lot of times they're single males. They are a single father or a single male.
Could you give me that evidence?
Most illegal immigration are single males.
Could you give me the evidence that undocumented immigrants are more likely to send more money home than legal immigrants?
Because they're single males.
Okay, that's not evidence to indicate that the conclusion is true. Let's be real.
Because do you have an article pulled up that? So then it's bad. Then we should have less immigration in general.
Exactly. So now you're telling me that basically you think that we should end legal immigration for this reason too?
I think that immigration is too high. I think that we should lower immigration. I think that the fact that we've had 60 million people in the past since the 1990s is ridiculous. I think that immigration should go down.
So hypothetically, if we could somehow legally deport legal immigrants, would you support that since they send remnants home and you have no reason to believe that undocumented immigrants send more remnants home?
No, I wouldn't make it retroactive. I wouldn't make it retroactive.
Okay, why do you think it had negative economic implications to deport legal immigrants?
For Walmart and corporations, they'll have less sales revenue, but that means that.
I just want a yes or no. Would there be more negative than positive economic implications if we were to deport legal immigrants?
Tax cuts.
Why are you answering my question? Do you think that there would be more negative than positive economic implications if we were to deport legal immigrants? Yes,
because there's different sectors of economics. Tax cuts. You are against the tax cuts under Trump. That technically gets more economic stimulus. but you're against those tax cuts. Not every GDP growing doesn't mean it's always good for the average worker. You do know that.
Because
that
the GDP grew by 0.02%, and we spent $2 trillion to get it done. It was a net drain on the economy. It costs more than it generated, and a disproportionate amount of the tax cuts went to the top 1%. But Jesus Christ, I have much better reasons to not support the big beautiful bill this time around. Like, I don't know, cutting 10 million low-income Americans off of healthcare or 3 million low-income Americans off of food stamps.
People have to cut these programs because you have to look somewhere. If you want to get these tax cuts, you have to cut the programs. And according to IRS data, the Tax and Jobs Act helped the middle class the most. So the middle class is getting a significant tax cut. And then you're also
why are you misquoting your own source? Yeah, your source says that it gave them an additional like $6,000 per year. It doesn't say that it gave them the most disproportionately to members of the top 1%. Yes, what are you yapping about?
Go look up IRS data helped the middle class Americans the most. Yes, it did.
Okay, so what's the IRS data to demonstrate that that's true? I don't know why you're pivoting. Like, once again, I was just talking to you about the big, beautiful bill, and the next thing we know, you want to stop talking about the big, beautiful bill, and you want to talk about his tax cuts the first time around. You know what, actually, I want you to respond to what I said without pivoting, and then we'll talk about the TCJA. I will happily talk to you about the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that he passed the first time around, after we finish talking about the big, beautiful bill that he passed this time around.
Hey, genius, what's the big provision in the big, beautiful bill? It's codifying the Tax and Jobs Act.
Genius. It's an extension to the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Well, I'm so sorry that I'm talking to somebody with a brain of my family fucking dog. Maybe if you looked at one simple projection, from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, you would know because of the cuts in the bill, although it is offering a tax cut to low-income Americans, it offers a larger disproportionate tax cut to you the more money you make per the projections from the CBO and the Committee on a Responsible Federal Budget, and not to mention that the cuts in the bill, such as the $900 billion gutted for Medicaid, that's kicking off 10 million people and increasing the premiums for everybody that remains, or the $156 billion cuts to food stamps, at the end of the day, is going to give the average American making at or less than $51,000 per year, yes, less purchasing power than they had before the bill was passed. So before you come out screaming, oh, you fucking idiot, maybe you should sit down and learn a thing or two before you get humbled for being an asshole, right? But now, without pivoting this time, I want you to respond to the original claim that I made, because for whatever reason, you just kind of wanted to scapegoat around it and not talk about it. 10 million people lost access to healthcare because of the big, beautiful bill. I think that that healthcare is an absolute need and essential for low-income Americans. And you're sitting here and you're saying that you support it. And why is that? Why do you support 10 million low-income Americans losing access to life-saving healthcare?
Because it's, first of all, it's not Medicare, it's Medicaid. Do you know the difference between Medicare and Medicaid?
The Medicare goes to old people, Medicaid goes to low-income people. If I said Medicare, I misspoke. I meant to say Medicaid. Now respond. Thank you.
And second of all, it's an eligibility. It says that if you are 18 and older, then you have to work about 40 hours a month. I think that's reasonable. And actually, it's important that we have a private healthcare sector. Do you know the private healthcare sector has like 10 to 5 times more R&D spending than the federal government? Who do you think invents all this fucking healthcare technology? Canada buys most of its machinery, healthcare machinery, from the United States. Who do you think invents all this shit? Who invented the vaccine? Was it the government or was it a private company?
You could use Medicaid at private healthcare facilities.
I know that, but what happens with these rural hospitals when they find out that you use Medicaid? They increase the cost.
No. Actually, when you're on Medicaid, when you're on people on Medicaid, their overall cost for treatment is 200 times lower than that of individuals on private health insurance.
Yeah, but the hospitals raise the cost on the government.
The government pays lower costs since the government has more bargaining power.
What'd you say?
The government pays lower costs compared to private health insurance. And I'll give you a source right now. Cost of service on Medicaid versus private. All right, let's go to get this.
I'm not saying it's more expensive for the person on Medicaid. I'm saying that the hospital overcharges someone on Medicaid, forces the government to spend more money.
No, once again, wrong. Actually wrong. But I don't understand why we continue to get detracted from the point. So point number one, no, you're false. There's more people on Medicaid than there is people on private insurance. This means that the government who runs and operates Medicaid has more negotiating ability with private pharmaceuticals and private hospitals. Therefore, they could get lower prices. It is very just simple economic explanation.
You just said you pulled up a source. Show me the source.
Okay. I will if you'll allow me to finish speaking.
The government has more bargaining power on Medicaid. Show me a source, please. I'm dying to hear. Yes, they do increase the prices When a hospital finds out you are on Medicaid, they will increase the prices compared to a private insurance.
Okay. All right, where's the source that I had open the other day? Give me 1 minute, sir. That'd be incredibly nice of you. Going down yet another rabbit hole for whatever fucking reason because he doesn't want to respond to the meat on the bone, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'll give him the source. Holy shit. Boom. Is this it? No, that's from today. That's from today. Give me a minute. I'm literally looking through my search history because I had to look this up the other day. Boom! All right. Go on Google. Type in KFF. How much more than Medicare do private insurers pay? A review of the literature.
KFF?
Yeah, KFF. Private insurers pay nearly double Medicare rates for all hospital services. 199% of Medicare rates on average, ranging from 141 to 259% of Medicare rates across the reviewed studies.
I'm reading the article right now.
Thank you so much. Hopefully, after you read this goddamn article, we could go back to the meat on the bone. I want to talk about the 10 million low-income Americans that are losing surface. You don't want to talk about that. Every time I bring it up, you do something lousy and you pivot. It's really annoying.
Yeah, I pivot for sure, bro. You're the one who's
you are pivoting. You pivoted away from the fact that 10 million low-income Americans are losing health insurance to the fake idea that somehow public health insurance costs more than private health insurance. But I gave you the source to prove
rural hospitals will increase the price. I will get you. I'm reading your article, and then I'll give you my source that shows that rural hospitals do increase the price when they find out someone's on Medicare.
Even if what you're saying is true, that some hospitals do this, it doesn't matter because on average, they do the opposite, right? And it is that macro data, the averages that matter.
Well, when it comes to bigger cities, maybe, but rural hospitals, are completely reliant on raising the prices for people using Medicaid.
I'll just accept what you're saying. Why should anybody care when on average it costs less?
Because averages don't matter. If these hospitals are completely reliant on people increasing Medicaid, that's wrong. They can't just rural hospitals overcharge people on Medicaid. That creates a problem. These rural hospitals are completely reliant on.
Wait, you're telling me that it creates a problem for who? The government and their expenditure?
The government,
well, guess what?
yes.
They spend less than private insurers do, right? Because remember, the government expenditure is what? Nationwide, federal, right? So even if we could point out a handful of hospitals that are increasing, right, the cost to the government for those on Medicaid, there is more hospitals that are actually reducing the cost on Medicaid. So even though you do not have a source, I will basically accept what you're saying because overall the government's winning compared to private health insurance. They're winning.
Yeah, when's the last time the government has invented something? Actually help.
When's the last time the government has invented something? Stop pivoting. Sit down and stop pivoting. This is so embarrassing for you. Chat, have you guys listened to this guy actually thoroughly respond to something that I've said the whole time he's been up here? Or is it pivot every time I make a point?
Okay, I'll respond. I will say that overall, maybe on a macro level, the government does spend less.
So overall, they're winning.
But overall, they're losing because still they have no R&D. Look at the vaccine. The vaccine was completely reliant on Pfizer. It was completely reliant on a private insurance company.
Pfizer is not a private insurance company. Pfizer is a private healthcare provider.
It's sorry, I misspoke. Private healthcare provider. But
okay.
If you look at
we're not having a debate about private versus public healthcare providers. We're having a debate about private versus public healthcare insurers. There's a big difference.
Well, the only way we could have the tax cuts is if you have to cut benefits. You had to cut some sort. They didn't want to cut Social Security, so you have to go after Medicaid. You could see this in 2008 under the Affordable Care Act.
I would actually prefer the top 1% not get 4% back per year in taxes if it means that 10 million low-income Americans won't fucking die because they can't go to the hospital.
They're not going to die. If they have a disability or they're eligible, then
I don't think that it should have a work requirement.
If they're not able-bodied, they're still eligible for the program.
Right. I think that unemployed, able-bodied, low-income Americans should be able to go to the hospital.
They will be able to go to the hospital if it's an emergency because they still have Medicare.
Dude, anybody could go to the hospital if it's an emergency. Right? I'm not even talking about emergency circumstances. In fact, did you know that it could actually create a fiscal burden to Medicare on the federal level to be denying individuals like treatment outside of emergency resources, because then it will create more emergency resources. Like, we could prevent emergencies through proactive treatment. We could prevent emergencies
But if someone
by
had a
allowing
condition-
low-income Americans to go get their fucking skin dots checked out. We could prevent emergencies by, saying that low-income Americans should go to an annual physical, right? And also, I think that the hospital is significantly more meaningful than just emergencies, right? You know, like when my grandpa developed pancreatic cancer, when it was in its early stages, that wasn't an emergency. His life wasn't at immediate risk. Now, if he was low income, he would have been able to go to the hospital if he was on Medicaid, right?
No, because he's above 65 years old, right? So he would be eligible.
Right.
So that's a lot.
Assuming that he wasn't. Assuming that he was 64, he wouldn't have been able to go to the hospital, right?
He has a condition, though, so he's not able-bodied if he has cancer. What are you talking about?
Wait,
if he has cancer, he'd be eligible.
Wait, so you think that if there any and all conditions in which would warrant somebody going to a hospital would mean that they're not able-bodied? How does their government define able-bodied?
No condition, no pre-existing condition, or no conditions. Okay. I don't know.
Now, what is a condition? Now, what is a condition? What does that even mean?
Case by case. It's case by case. They determine it case by case. The government doesn't have one definition. You meet with someone.
Wait, can we agree that basically just able-bodied means, like, in the eyes of the government, like, can work?
No, that doesn't mean in the eyes of the government. It's case
so then
by
what does
case.
It mean?
There's not a definite definition. It's case by case.
So then what does it mean?
Case by case.
Wait, are you basically telling me that, like, low-income Americans that are able-bodied would have no reason to even go to the hospital? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No.
Wait, so then they would have reason to go to the hospital, so then why do you want to deny them the service?
What are you talking about?
Why should we deny low-income Americans access to the hospital? I think the fact that the big, beautiful bill cut off access to the hospital from 10 million low-income Americans is absolutely so fucking shitty. Am I like the only one here that thinks it's terrible?
If you are able-bodied and you can work, if you are healthy, then you can work 40 hours a week. You shouldn't be leeching off the system. People are leeching off.
So you think that like systems of benefit that are paid for by the taxpayer should have a work requirement on them?
Are you going to say, oh, well, should the police have a work? Are you going to say that stupid hypothetical?
Yeah, police, firemen, or roads.
That's emergency, though. They still get Medicare. Do I think that if someone doesn't pay tax...
Do you think my life, like my... So I just want to clarify, right? If somebody like breaks into my house then leaves, like my life isn't threatened. Should I be able to call the cops if I'm low-income American and able-bodied, can work but don't work? Should I have access to the non-emergency hotline at all?
You would have access to the emergency hotline.
But should I have access to the non-emergency police hotline?
Any call to the police is an emergency hotline.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Police explicitly have non-emergency numbers where they can report crimes that are not an immediate emergency. A lot of crimes that are reported to the non-emergency hotline would be a lot of public trespassing, property crimes, vandalism, and some types of theft sometimes, right? All of these can be classified as non-emergency. That's why all police departments in America have a non-emergency hotline. I don't say that's not true. If you told me where you lived, I would actually be able to find your local police department's non-emergency hotline in like 3 minutes. Should able-bodied, low-income Americans that can work but aren't working have access to non-emergency police hotlines?
They should have access to all police hotlines.
Including non-emergency ones.
Including non-emergency ones.
Oh, wait. So why should healthcare have a work requirement on it? Because it's paid for by the taxpayer? But calling the non-emergency hotline at the PD shouldn't, even though it's paid for by the taxpayer.
Vandalism and house robbery is, in my opinion, still considered an emergency. It's still considered a crisis.
House robbery is an emergency.
Societal distress is considered, an emergency or a crisis. Maybe not an emergency.
Wait, if distress can be crisis, do you think that low-income Americans that had access to the hospital that no longer have access to the hospital can experience distress because of that?
Because they don't have access to the hospital?
Yeah.
Can they get stressed out?
Yeah, could that cause them distress? Could that cause them distress if they get a really fucking bad cough that won't go away? And then next thing you know, they're starting to be curious if maybe they develop pneumonia, right? Would that cause them distress because then they can't go get it fucking checked out by their primary care?
They can use Medicare for that. They can use Medicare for that. And my thing is just like, why do you promote people leeching off the system? We don't live in a fantasy world.
Wait. Why do you promote people leeching off the system? You said that low-income Americans that can work, that don't work, should have access to the non-emergency police hotline, to firefighters, to public roadways.
Because that's society in itself having a crisis that affects everyone. Vandalism affects everyone. Everyone should report vandalism because that's bad for society.
Wait. Do you think that like low-income Americans having their life shortened or in some circumstances dying is bad for society?
But they wouldn't die because they have emergency Medicare. If they have a condition,
you could die from conditions without knowing that you even have the condition because you didn't have access to the primary physician in the first place to know that you had it.
But I don't get is like if you're able-bodied.
No. Why won't you respond to that? You said that that vandalism, spray paint on the side of a house, is a greater threat to society than denying 10 million people access to healthcare. Really? So you think that like me spray painting the side of somebody's house is a greater threat to society than 10 million people losing healthcare?
It's not 10 million people. The state's going to pick up a lot of those costs. So it's not 10 million people.
Oh, really? Earlier,
the state's going to pick up some of the costs. Yes, it's not 10 million people.
You gave me the CBO as a source earlier. The CBO projects that the big beautiful bill will increase uninsured low-income Americans by 10 million.
On the federal level, but the state level is going to pick up most of those costs. You do realize that, right?
Wait, specifically defining the federal system of benefit. What are you yapping about?
The state's going to take over
federal
Medicare.
Medicaid.
Yes, there's going to be state-level Medicaid.
State-level Medicaid already exists. What are you talking about?
To increase the cost on that, they're going to have grant more people on state-level Medicaid. The states are going to pick up the cost.
Okay. So then you're telling us that they're going to so then you're telling us that our counties, our cities, and our states are going to have to turn around and increase our taxes. They're going to have to turn around and make our property taxes go up. They're going to turn around and they're going to make you pay more. So you're telling me not only are 10 million low-income Americans losing access to federal systems of benefit such as Medicaid, but they're also going to be paying more in taxes on the state and local level?
Yeah, but they're going to pay less taxes on the federal level.
Okay. All right.
Well, yes, they are. What do you mean? Oh, right.
So do you think that the states and the local areas are just going to pick up all those 10 million people that are losing it? In fact, can you give me any evidence that this is what's going to happen?
Can you give me? They are because.
Okay, give me evidence. Let's see it. Let's see the evidence.
What evidence? The bill hasn't been passed. It's not passed.
The big beautiful bill literally passed a fucking year ago. What are you talking about?
All the effects are not going to be implemented until 2026.
So then how do you know once these effects go into effect that the states will pick up the burden? So if you don't know that, then why did you say it? You're fucking cooked, kid. You just tried to respond to me with a claim that you just admitted you didn't know.
States have already claimed that they're going to do that.
Okay, what
Multiple
states?
Florida has.
Really? Show me where Florida claimed that.
You really going to make me pull up a source right now?
Yeah,
yes, they're going to have to take over some of the costs.
Okay,
they will.
Let me see it. Let me see it.
Give me a second then. You're making me pull up a computer right now.
And then you're also the one that told me that these 10 million low-income Americans were being kicked off because of the imposition of a work requirement. Are you now telling me that states are just going to remove their work requirements on Medicaid?
That they're going to remove their or no?
No, so then how are these people going to get service if they lost service not because of the cost, but because they're not working?
Well, they should. If they are able-bodied, they should work. I don't know if that people are abusing the system.
Wait. So then the states aren't going to be picking up that burden and giving them help.
They are going to be picking up some of the burden. Yes,
so
they will.
Then they're going to be imposing more Medicaid for low-income Americans without work requirements? I thought that you didn't like that. Now you're boasting it as an accomplishment?
They're going to go case by case, and they're going to determine it. It's a case by case. It's not a one definite issue. It's a case by case thing. They'll determine. They'll look at your case. They'll look at your form, and they'll say, "Hey, are you able-bodied, and are you able to work, and do you seem healthy?" They'll say, "Oh, you need to work 40 hours a month." I don't think that's ridiculous. I know you think that's ridiculous. I know you think that everyone should have free health.
Wait. So then you're telling me that the states are just going to impose the same work requirements on their state level Medicaid that is now imposed on the federal Medicaid per the big beautiful bill. So all that you're telling, so if somebody loses access to federal Medicaid because they're not meeting the work requirement, you're telling me that their state actually won't pick it up, so they're still going to be uninsured. So what the fuck were you saying?
Each state's going to have a different case. I don't know, but it's not going to be 10 million Americans.
Oh, so basically you are relying on the blue states that agree that work requirements are bad, giving work requirements to the low-income, able-bodied Americans. So basically what you're saying is, yeah, what Donald Trump did to federal Medicaid was really fucking shitty, but people like Gavin Newsom are going to attempt to fix his mistake for the people in their states. Really?
Oh, really? Really?
Like, so now your new argument is that the Democrats are going to save us from the tyranny of MAGA?
No, I think that people should have some work requirements. I think SNAP benefits, people should have work requirements. You believe that everyone should just fiend off the system. Are you a socialist? What do you believe in? You believe everyone should have free
Don't
healthcare?
pivot yet, because now you're saying that you believe it should have a work requirement. So then if states were to pick up the low-income Americans that aren't working but could work, you'd say that's a bad thing. So why did you try to gloat and boast it as an accomplishment when I told you that what Donald Trump did by kicking off 10 million low-income uninsured individuals was bad?
10 million though, because there's not 10 million people that are completely healthy and able-bodied and don't work. That's
So
not
then
true.
you're
There's not 10 million
so point
people
number
doing
one,
that.
you're telling
So
me
it's
that the
not gonna be
projections
10
from the
million, so
CBO
let's
are
say-
unreliable when you tried to give me the CBO as a source when you first joined. And point number two, then we go right back into the loop of you basically telling me that
CBO
some of
does
those 10 million people are not going to lose access to systems of benefits simply because blue states are going to now expand their health care and offer it to low-income Americans that aren't working.
Red states too. People run on healthcare. If the congressman doesn't get free healthcare in red states, healthcare is a big issue in red states too. It's an issue all around the country. But the thing is, we don't live in a
so now
fantasy
you're
world where
basically telling me that it's not just the
my
Democrats
God,
that are going to bail
fucking
Donald Trump
talk.
out. Now you're telling me that it's not just the Democrats that are going to bail Trump out from his mistake, but it's also the Republicans that are going to contradict
not
the
a
notion that he
mistake.
set forward and by offering their health care to low-income Americans that aren't working.
Every reconciliation bill has to have cuts. The Affordable Care Act in 2008 had cuts on premium payments. Everything has to have cuts. They looked at it. They wanted to give the Tax and Jobs Act, which is very popular, helps middle-class Americans out the most, according to IRS data. They had to make cuts because the biggest thing that the federal government spends money on is entitlements. So they looked at all the entitlements. They said, can we make cuts in Social Security? No, that's a disaster for an election. Can we make cuts on Medicare? No, because that involves emergency health care. Where can we make cuts at? They decided that we can make cuts in Medicaid. That's every bill has to do that. They did it in 2008 with the Affordable Care Act. Every bill has.
Wait, did you support the Affordable Care Act?
Do I support some parts of it, some parts not?
Overall, was it a good bill or a bad bill?
I think the idea of it was good, but the way it panned it out, no.
Why? Because of the cuts?
Because of what cuts? The premium payment cuts?
Yeah, was that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, they had to pay for free healthcare, so they had to make cuts. Was it a good thing or bad thing?
Was it a good thing or a bad thing that premiums apparently went up?
It didn't apparently. They did go up.
Right. Oh, and by the way, so we're also now seeing, according to projections from the CRBF, that the premiums for everybody that will still be on Medicaid at the federal level are going to go up by 75%. Then also, maybe if we want to cut shit, I have two ideas. Maybe that big beautiful bill would cost less if we weren't giving the top 1% of earners an additional and disproportionate 4 to 5% back per year compared to the average, a 1 to 2% back per year for the average American per the CBRF. And maybe if we wanted to cut something because we truly needed to, we'd cut the DOD.
First of all, this idea that the rich doesn't pay their fair share, that's a lie. That's a lie. The rich fund most of the federal government. Do you know the bottom 50% of America only contributes about 8% in federal revenue?
And did you know the top 1% of income earners hold 85% of wealth in this country, but only pay 45% of taxes?
That's not true. They do not hold 85% of wealth and only pay 45% taxes. They fund
true.
most federal governments. They fund all the programs. The top 1% funds about more than 50% of the federal government.
It's
or
40,
the top 5%.
They pay 45% of taxes. It's not most.
That's
It's
not-
just,
where's the
it's
source
just
for that?
disproportionate.
Where's the source for that? They pay for most. The top 5% pay for most of the federal government.
So you're basically telling me that it makes sense in your mind to make the poor worse off, to make the rich better off because the rich are already doing so much.
My thing is that we should tax the rich by tariffs instead of corporate tax rates or regulations. That would make more sense. We should tax these multi-international corporations,
So
bringing in
you're
illegal.
not answering my question. Answer my question.
I think that we should tax them a different way than income tax or corporate tax. I think we should tax them with tariffs.
Oh,
I think that
hey,
would be
by the
more-
way, you asked for my source, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on Google, type in Tax Foundation, summary of the latest federal income tax data, 2025 update. Top 1% of income earners pay 40.4% of all federal income taxes.
So that's all the revenue they bring in. Just because they hold 85% of wealth. And where do they hold their wealth in? They hold their wealth in assets. They hold it in property. They hold it in stocks. So you're going to do uncapitalized gains tax. Do you support that?
Why are you pivoting? Because you made the claim that they pay over... No,
85%.
you're pivoting. You said that they pay over 50%. I proved you wrong. Concede.
I said the top 5% pays more than 50%.
No, you said the top 1. We were talking about the top 1% the whole time.
Yeah,
I brought up the fact that the top 1% pays 45% of income taxes, and then you said no, that's a lie. They pay over 50%. Now you're saying the top 5. So are you basically telling me that you called me a liar when I said the top 1% pays 45% of taxes, and then you went on to change the claim? So basically, even if you did say top 5%, which I'm unsure, you just completely changed my claim, equivocated, then said something new, then used a totally different claim of the top 5% in an attempt to prove my claim about the top 1% wrong. So basically, you gave me an invalid, irrelevant response to my claim that the top 1% pays 45% of taxes.
I misspoke. I thought you said 5%. I misheard you. I concede on that. I misspoke.
Great.
But overall,
1 second. Let me thank a handful of people here real quick. Gracie, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo for you for being an absolutely wonderful educator. I'm a retired teacher. I wish I had more to donate. Keep up what you're doing. Thank you so much for the kindness, Gracie, and I appreciate you for being here. It makes me so happy to learn that there's retired teachers in here that take something away from what we do. That's incredibly kind. As well as there's a handful of other people here. Just give me a second. Kyle with the $10 over on PayPal. Saying, bro, I've been debating hundreds of MAGA on the internet recently. Shit's exhausting. It is pretty exhausting, Kyle. Thank you for the 10. As well as Tava with a $15 over on PayPal saying, thank you for what you do, Dean, and thank you for giving me something to watch every day. Keep it up. I love you. Love you too, Tava. Thank you for being here. Then Hallie with the $5 over on PayPal as well, and Jennifer with a 1. If you're watching and you'd like to support me, you'd like to support what we do here, support the debate, support the stream, you could actually find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in the bio of this TikTok. I get 100% of those proceeds. They go straight to me, and they come in as a notification at the top of my phone. And I could read out your name, the amount, and any and all announced attached messages. Same thing goes for YT. You could find in the pinned message. Now, I actually have a new question for you. Is that okay, Bob?
Sure. Okay. And I have some numbers that can show that.
Well, I mean, listen, I wouldn't doubt it if the top 5% paid over 50% in taxes.
The top 50% pays about 97% in all federal taxes.
The top 50%? Yeah, sure.
Okay. And then the top 1% contributes about 90% of the bottom. The top 1% of income earners pay disproportionately large share of federal income taxes, often more than bottom 90% combined.
Oh, no fucking shit. That's what progressive taxation is.
Yeah, we have a progressive tax system.
They should pay disproportionately more.
You know what would be better for the middle class? You know what we should do?
Wait. Do you agree with a progressive taxation system?
To an extent, yeah. I would say that we need a progressive taxation system, but I think that...
Right, so then stop spreading propaganda saying that, oh, they disproportionately pay taxes. No fucking shit they do. That's what progressive taxation is, right? It's because each unit of value of the dollar loses value the more units you have. That's what diminishing returns is. $5 to somebody with only $5 is significantly more valuable than $5 to somebody with $5 million. Diminishing returns would dictate that a disproportionate pay of taxes from the top 1% is fair. Now, I want to ask you a question. Do you care about the Constitution?
I think that the Constitution shouldn't be used to hurt the American people. I think that the Constitution should be amended in some aspects.
Do you support attempting to illegally overthrow the Constitution?
All of the Constitution?
No, just like sometimes. Like when Donald Trump tried to illegally overthrow the first section of the 14th Amendment when he passed Executive Order number 14160 in an illegal authoritarian attempt to restrict our Constitution and ban birthright citizenship for the children of undocumented immigrants born in American soil.
So this is a fascinating topic because I have something I learned that was crazy. Do you know that if a policy as an American, if the American public favorability to a policy is about 0 or 100%, it's only a 30% chance of getting passed. So if a policy has a favorability number of 0% or 100%, it both equally only has a 30% chance of being passed. And you can see this under Biden, the student loan program. It had a 70% chance. It had 70% of people supported the student loan program that Biden tried to pass, but it got blocked by a judge. So I think that I do support Trump getting rid of some of the injunctions and some of the judicial power, if that's what you're asking. I think that the Constitution, the president should be allowed to change amendments and change certain parts of the Constitution.
So if Donald Trump tomorrow amended the Constitution to take away your rights illegally through the use of an executive order, you'd be okay with that?
Depends on what right, and I would vote him out in the next office. I think that we should have.
Wait. So you're basically do you agree that this is like an illegal attempt to consolidate power to one man?
But I think that one man should have power.
Well, like we don't. You're not answering my question. Was executive order number 141? No. Was executive no. Was executive order number 14160 an illegal attempt to consolidate power away from the nearly 500 congressmen and women, and away from the Supreme Court, and away from the Constitution itself to one man, that one man being Donald J. Trump?
Yes, and that's good. He has balls unlike Biden. Biden doesn't have any fucking balls. He allowed the judge to completely bitch him on the student loan program because he's a fucking pussy. He doesn't do anything.
So you think it's wrong to respect a SCOTUS ruling?
If the majority of the public...
Oh my God. We're going to move on to the next guest. I'm sorry. That was just like so like hyperbolically insane. Yeah, just heard it here first. You are a BITCH if you have SCOTUS rule that you're doing shit that's unconstitutional, and then you stop doing it that way. Oh my goodness gracious. What world are we living in? What world are we living in? What world are we living in? Hey, do you support Trump? Bite the bullet. You're in the stream. You do.
I am. Again.
Okay. All right. I'd love for you to pick up maybe where the last guest left off. No, you're lagging.
You're lagging pretty bad on me.
You're lagging.
I mean, like your voice is like not moving with you look like a Chinese person.
What?
Your lips, I guess it's my phone. I don't know.
What do you mean I look like a Chinese person? What?
Okay. Like, when you watch a Chinese movie and their lips are not moving with the sound.
Are you talking about like dubbed movies? You're talking about dubs.
It's okay. No matter. I'll just like not look at you because I can at least still hear your voice.
I don't even like. I don't know how to like respond.
It's fine. It's fine. We don't need to. It's not an issue. It's not that big of an issue.
Wait.
Okay.
Aren't movies like produced? Like all movies ever, they have like dubbed versions for individuals that don't know the language.
I watch you a lot. It's just not normal. I don't normally see that on your videos. So, but anyway,
like maybe she's just like a particularly big fan of anime or something.
Me? No. I'm 40 years old. I don't do anime. That's not who I am. But anyways, I
don't know. It was just like weird to single out Chinese people there, but.
Well, because that's kind of it's a common thing. Maybe anime would be a better way of saying it, but it's actual people, physical people that talk, and then the sound comes 3 seconds after their lips move.
It's because it's dubbed over in English because it was not recorded in English.
Okay. I was just giving you an example as to what your video was doing with your own voice.
Okay.
I was saying your video was lagging to me. But that doesn't matter. Let's jump.
I'm just like dubbed movies aren't based on like race.
We're gonna talk about politics,
okay,
right?
Just know that like dubbed movies aren't based on like race. So you support Trump? Why is that?
Well, I feel like he has a lot of things that are aligned with a lot of American values. And you know what? Before I go on about Trump, Democrats also have some things that are aligned with the American value. But if you wanted to really, I want to kind of like take this to a different level with you today. Going all the way back through all presidencies, they all go on to campaign about how they can fix the American people. We need to help the blue collar class. We need to, get business going on here in the United States. We need more business here. We need more housing. We need affordable groceries.
Groceries have gone up in the last 7 months.
It's gone up in the past 100 years.
I know.
So
Donald Trump said that he dropped the price of groceries on day one, though. False promise.
But I want you to see something. These problems that these presidents are all campaigning on never get resolved. So I don't think that it's necessarily the campaigning that we really need to pay attention to, as much as we really do need to pay attention to the policies, because we all do have a problem with groceries, with price of housing. We all know that we have that, but what it really comes down to is the policies. And me, as I've been growing up, I think you are doing freaking wonderful, Dean. I don't know why you're on Parker's account, but you're doing great for your age, for you to learn and go into politics and learn everything about this. And I'm really glad that you're doing what you're doing and sharing your information with everyone. But I think instead of everybody just kind of focusing on, I want more money, I want cheaper food, I want cheaper gas. And that's the main thing that, a lot of politicians run on. And that's how they get people to vote for them rather than...
Okay. I'm so sorry. Yap. I apologize if that's disrespectful. Just had to make it known. Why do you support Trump?
Because I feel like his values are focused on the American people more than people that are not in this country.
My friend, I don't know if you listened to the last debate. We're going to go back and forth. I'm going to tell you one way that Donald Trump has hurt the American people in the last 200 days. And then you're going to tell me one way that Donald Trump has helped the American people in the last 200 days. And we'll see who runs out first. Okay? I'll go first with one specific way he's hurt them. Like I said to the last guest we were talking about for an hour, he took healthcare away from 10 million low-income Americans. Your turn. What is one specific way he's helped Americans?
So he's made it so that women can afford to have pregnancies whenever they are unable to.
Are you talking about free IVF?
Yes. It's not free.
He walked back on that. He walked back on that.
What do you mean walked back?
He's not doing it anymore. He walked back on that. His administration said that they're not doing it.
When did you find that out?
3 weeks ago.
Oh, interesting. So I know for a fact that you're going to be able to beat me in numbers because you do this every single day with politicians. The policies, you're going to know so many more different things. You've got people that's constantly coming at you. You got stuff that's going back at them. But what I really wanted to kind of say here, yes, I do support Trump. Okay. I think that he is the person who is going to...
Can you tell me? But listen. So let's just go back to the drawing board real quick. You said that a way that he's helped the American people is by making IVF free. Go on Google, type in White House has no plan to mandate IVF care despite making that promise. So try again. I was able to name one way he hurt the American people. Try again, name one way he's helped the American people.
Okay. This kind of sounds not good, but deporting all of the undocumented immigrants, a lot of people disagree with that. And I don't understand why they disagree, because a law is a law. Our country is not the only country that deports undocumented immigrants. Every country in the world deports undocumented immigrants. Okay. Sometimes they're jailed, sometimes they're fined heavily in other countries.
Okay, so like you just said, a law is a law. That makes me think that you support mass deportation just simply because the law says that we should. It was a misdemeanor coming into the country. Here's like the first thought that comes into my head. If you think that a misdemeanor is enough to warrant removal from the country, Then how come that you think that 34 felonies, an adjudication of rape in a civil court, is not enough to warrant removal from the White House?
So when you hear anything about 34 felonies, and I want you to pay attention to this now and in the future, when 34 felonies are put on anybody in the court system, they're throwing the book at them and hoping something sticks. There are other people who have had 34 felonies. Exactly that
They're
number.
throwing the book at them and hoping something sticks? No, he was like found he was found guilty of 34 counts of falsification of business documentation in the second degree. So there was, I think, like 7 falsified checks, 12 falsified ledger entries, and then the remainder was like something else, but I forget what it was. No, he just did it 34 times.
Okay, can you tell me how that affected you and me?
Oh, it actually didn't affect you or I. How does undocumented entry affect you or I?
They come in, they commit crimes.
Oh, really?
They are also
They commit crimes?
They have. Everybody does, but they don't need to be here to commit crimes. They're not, they come in the legal way. I know people who have actually come to this country and filled out all their paperwork, did it the right way, and so should they.
Okay.
Everyone should
remember,
we have to follow the law as Americans, so should they.
Man, with all due respect, we are still on, if they should follow the law, then so should the president, once again. But you just told me you didn't care that Donald Trump broke the law with the 34 felonies because they weren't a victimless crime. I didn't say that. I didn't. Right?
No,
you did. So then once again, I'm asking you very clearly, how does undocumented entry negatively affect Americans? And then you said they commit crimes. Okay. Well, let's very specifically talk about that claim that they commit crimes. So what percentage of violent crimes in this country are committed by undocumented immigrants?
The ones that were caught, it's a very, very low percentage.
Yeah, one. What percentage of violent crimes in this country are committed by American men?
I actually don't know that very percentage.
92. So it's funny because you want to act like you care about crime, but you'd rather talk about the 1% compared to the 92%.
Well, you kind of
even when that 1% undocumented immigrants are 2.5 times less likely to commit violent crimes than the average American citizen born in the soil. Not to mention that a mass deportation would destabilize our economy, kill our GDP, kill average real median wages, kill our productive capacities, increasing poverty, increasing crime.
So, and how long were these undocumented immigrants in this country? How long did they have time to commit crimes other than all these Americans that have lived there their entire lives? Let's just take a look at, like, you have 1 year to commit crimes and they still do it compared to 40 years of people who, like, don't commit crimes. There's millions of Americans and there's a smaller amount of immigrants. So the 1% is going to be a lot smaller, just like if you're talking about like African Americans compared to Caucasians. The percentage is going to be different. But nonetheless, that is one thing.
Can you expand on that last statement, comparing African Americans to Caucasians? What was that? Could you expand on that?
I really don't even like to talk about African Americans because it's going to come down to racism. I don't think that it really would come down to you, but everybody in these.
Are you calling yourself racist? You don't like to.
No, I'm not calling myself.
Wait, are you saying that you don't like to talk about black people because every time you talk about black people, people call you racist?
All right, let's do it and let's see what happens.
I'm so sorry. That is just like a really bad start to the conversation. I don't like to talk about black people because every time I do talk about black people, people call me racist.
Yeah, no, I can point it out and then we can watch it happen. We can watch it unfold. So let's just say 13% of the people are responsible for 50% of the crimes.
That's not true. So it's a racist dog whistle. Because it promotes a stereotype of black individuals being like
murders. Okay, murders. 50% of the murders.
Also not true.
Can you tell me the numbers then?
Well, I mean, so the 1555 statistic is a racist dog whistle for the reason that it doesn't account for the over-policing of predominantly black neighborhoods and the exoneration rate of black individuals inside of the criminal justice system. All right. So although like 15% of the population accounts for 55% of the arrest on crimes, 15% of the population also accounts for 50%, 56% of the exonerations of crimes after the arrest.
Okay,
Right?
so
So black
and that's
individuals are significantly more likely to be falsely arrested for crimes compared to white individuals. Right?
okay, and
And then
the
even if you want to suggest that if we were to account for the level of exoneration, and we'd still see some like disproportionality insofar as you know, like the likelihood of like the average black individual to commit a crime compared to that of a white individual, what has nothing to do with the fact that they're black or white, and all to do with socioeconomic standings and a relationship between crime and poverty, and the fact that there's less generational wealths within black Americans due to slavery, its aftermath, and systemic racism today. So that's my thought process on it. Is first debunking that 55 percent statistic by accounting for exoneration rates after they're arrested, and then for the remaining fact when accounting for the exonerations, I don't know what it would be. Maybe it's like 15% of the population accounts for like 25% of the of crime. Then we can explain that through socioeconomics, proclivity and relationship between poverty and crime, and higher levels of poverty and lower socioeconomic standing on average of the average black American compared to the average white American because of systemic racism, slavery, and its aftermath.
so now that we've gone through all that, we can now try to add undocumented immigrants into those numbers. We don't
Well, no,
have
I'm
those.
actually going to let my friend Santana up here real quick.
Oh, that's it's not. Wasn't trying to get onto the point of a black and white thing. That's why I tried to stop you before.
Well, I mean, hey, I
We
mean, I
were
think that this is a
obviously
good opportunity for a conversation. This is a good opportunity for education. Let's talk about it. What's going on, Santana? Welcome in.
Hey, how's it going? Listen, Dean, spot on. Like literally all the points that was going to hit about 1350, you definitely covered it. The one thing that I would just say is kind of like Dean just addressed it for you, but if every time for some reason you have a conversation about Black people and people start telling you that you're racist, maybe like don't get offended and try to stop and listen and understand why they're coming from that because being hit it right on the head, you keep parroting a racist dog whistle. And so if you continue to do that, then of course people are going to continue to call you racist, especially if you want to say, well, I didn't know these things that Dean just covered. Cool. Now you know, don't repeat them.
Right, like and
So
like
like
hopefully,
that's the big point.
and hopefully like you understand this too, right? Like imagine if you were a black American and you heard people going on the internet spreading misinformation about black Americans that promote stereotypes that are aimed at the conclusion that because you're black, you are like more aggressive. Because you're black, you are more you are more violent. Because you're black, you are more likely to hurt people and all this stuff when it's ultimately rooted in a misunderstanding of arrest rates compared to exoneration rates compared to conviction rates, etc. Like obviously, right? If you were Black American and you heard that, you'd be very disheartened. You'd feel hurt, and you'd call that racist because it is, and you'd want to correct it. So I mean, see it from that perspective, and I think that you know you'll understand.
So yes, no, I get it, and I try to avoid conversations like that, and that's
Wait, so question
because
for you.
then I can't get onto my own topic
Wait,
because I
hold
was
on. Quick
going to
question
avoid.
for you. Quick
See?
question for you. Have you heard this before? Like, is this the first time that you've heard this information that Dean just gave you?
No, no, no. This is not the first time I've heard the information.
So
Got
then
So
it.
you just
it's
repeated
the
it,
actual the number
knowing
has
that it's
actually
wrong.
gone up to fourteen point
That's not
one.
that's not
But
true. That's not true because they haven't been tracking that actual information for the FBI table since what 2020, I think 2023. So anyway, they stopped tracking that specific information. But even more so, like to the point that I just made,
I'll be right. I'll be right back, Santana. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick.
yep, you got it. And to the point that like I just made of literally like Dean just
it is
covered
fishing
those
for the
points with you.
racist. I knew that
I'm
was
sorry.
going to happen. People in the comments see when I say this, people are just going to call me a racist,
Well,
and
but
and I
like,
know
hold on,
actually
hold on, hold on. Listen, I need you, wait,
everybody
I need
wants
you to
me to hold
understand.
on.
Sure, I need you to understand this though. Like, there's a difference between willful ignorance and just being
Oh,
ignorant, and you're not ignorant anymore. Like, if you're saying that you've heard this information, that you've been corrected on this, and you continue to actually parrot this information, then yes, that's racist. Like
I
that.
was using that as
That's
an
the
example. See, I'm
yeah.
dying, Santana. Please let me speak.
Why would you keep using that as an example if it's already been disproven? Like
Okay.
if you know for a fact that it's not true, then why would you keep? But that doesn't make
Let me go
sense.
back to my point.
But if someone has disproved that information for you, you are aware of that information being disproven. You understand that people keep saying, "Hey, that information is rooted in racism." Why would you intentionally continue to use that information and that example, understanding all of those things? That doesn't make sense to me.
If you listen, then you'll understand me.
You please,
So I
I love
wasn't.
an
I'm
explanation.
sorry. I'm not trying to offend you, Santana. I'm not at all. We were
You're
talking
not
about
offending
immigration.
me. That's
We were
just like
talking.
disingenuous, though.
Can you
But go
answer?
Please,
ahead.
please let me speak.
We're gonna let you speak. Just answer his question. Like why willingly opt to re-perpetuate misinformation that you know is false when this misinformation like knowingly perpetuates stereotypes aimed at black individuals to paint them as aggressive, violent, etc., which
I'm
just
not.
hurts them.
I'm not trying to paint black people as aggressive. I was using a number because, first of all, Americans have been here for so long. So undocumented immigrants, how are we supposed to know what percentage of crimes they have? We don't even know their names. We don't know where they live. I mean, how are we supposed to get numbers on them, or just like they
I
have
think you're
numbers on the
confused
white
on. I think you're
Americans?
confused on what Santana had asked you. Could I repeat the
I'm
question?
trying. I've been trying to dodge this whole black racism talk, this number game. I brought it up for a split second so that we can
But
continue
I'm
on in
trying to
grace.
understand what was the reason for bringing it
Yeah,
up.
this is, dude.
Like,
Come on,
cause
this is
I
such a
just
fair.
said
This
that.
is such a fair
I just
question.
told you.
No, no, no.
I
Listen,
just told
just
you.
listen to what I have to say for like 30 seconds. What Santana is asking you is like incredibly fair, and I'm honestly like curious in your answer as well. So you like brought up the idea that 15% of the population accounts for 55% of crimes. That's what you said. That's what you repeated. I gave you the
Because it's not
information
accurate.
necessary to demonstrate that it's not accurate. Santana then asked you if you've ever heard this information before, and you said yes. So what that means is that you've been told that this information is not accurate before, and you've accepted that as a fact, yet you continue to re-perpetuate this inaccurate information that is aimed at the discrimination of black individuals in this country. So the question that remains is why did
What
you
are,
perpetuate knowingly inaccurate misinformation aimed at the discrimination of black
okay,
individuals in the
can I
country?
switch it to Caucasians? Can I switch it to Caucasians?
I
Because
just
no,
want a
because
response to the
there's
question.
that's the problem. When you bring
but
an
like
African
you
American
didn't
to it,
one
it always wraps
sure.
around that
But see,
instead of
you
the
wait,
topic of
no,
immigration.
no. You actually specifically made a decision to talk to a racist talking point, 1350. Like you specifically went after that table, the FBI statistics. You went after that information, saying that you knew that it wasn't accurate. You knew the information that Dean had literally just gave you, right? The exoneration information, the actual over policing, the wealth gap, the systematic racism that still persists, that still exists today. Like you knew all of that information, and you still chose to actually say what you just said.
Okay,
Like that doesn't make sense. And also, that has nothing to do with immigration.
please allow me to let me know when I'm allowed to speak.
Now,
Okay, so I had brought that up to see if you have numbers to compare on like illegal immigrant. No, I don't want to say illegal. Nobody should be illegal, but undocumented immigrants. Where are the statistics for undocumented immigrants? They're undocumented. We
okay.
cannot have the
Her brain's
statistics.
just broken. Like your brain has to
No,
be
it's not. I
broken.
don't think you're understanding me, Dean. I want to find a way that I can get this for you to understand.
Is anybody
So
understanding her response to the question that we
So
asked? Or
wait,
no one.
so are you trying to say that the fact that the numbers are inaccurate with 1350, that you can attribute any type of numbers that we may have on
I regret.
undocumented immigrants committing lower crime? Are you saying that though that's inaccurate as well?
You know what I do actually want to say is that it was pretty accurate that when I did bring up statistics on that people only want to discuss about black and racism because
Hey,
that was not my intention.
I literally just asked you a question to try to verify so I can try to understand what you're saying. Like literally, I'm trying to make the connection, and instead of just answering the question, you're going back to it. Did you bring that up to try to say, well, if you take a look at the actual statistics around 1350 being inaccurate, if we look at the statistics around undocumented immigrants causing or
My God,
having a lower crime rate, then it's not accurate. Like, what are we doing?
bruh.
Yeah, well, kind of like
Dude,
that. How are we supposed to?
the
How are
first
we supposed to
line,
have statistics on people that we don't know?
the first line of your 18th repost is quite literally, people are getting sick and tired of black people.
Mm-hmm.
That is the first, that is the opening line to your 18th repost, is that we're getting sick and tired of black people. I'm not even joking. Why do you have like a repost talking about how apparently you're so sick and tired of black people?
So I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Are you talking
I'll
about?
play it. I'll play it real quick.
Happening. I damn near couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, what? White people don't want to live around ratchet black people. But at what point in time do we say, no, we have control?
I hate serving black people. I'm sorry. I hate it. I be trying to defend y'all.
Yes, you read that right. People are getting sick and tired of other black people. And it's majority black people sharing the sentiment and speaking up about them.
That isn't that has nothing to do with me. That doesn't even sound
That's
like
your
me.
repost. That means you saw the video, you thought the video was good enough for you to share it with people that follow you or people that can actually access. Do you know that you can?
Bro, you literally
damn it, I bet
reposted
you-
a video that said, I
Can't
hate
you
black people.
accidentally I like to do political things. I don't do racism. Racism talking about that or trying to get myself into it is like it would ruin me.
Can we agree?
I don't do that.
Can we agree that it's like racist to agree with the sentiment that you hate black people?
Oh, I don't hate black people. My child
is it racist to
fell in love with a black person. I don't
Stop
see
tokenizing
you
the
guys
person
don't know
that you're
me.
with. Don't tokenize the person
I'm
that you're
not with
with.
him anymore.
That's still
But
tokenization.
you guys
That's still
don't know me.
tokenization.
We were talking.
You literally just tokenized someone.
Okay, so listen here. I brought a subject up. I wanted to bring numbers into the equation because we were talking about
Numbers that you knew that weren't
You're
real.
cutting me off, bro.
You literally admitted that you knew that the numbers weren't real. You said that.
I'm trying to bring something of an idea to where you can compare. Okay, what are the numbers for the undocumented immigrants and their crimes? How can you compare? How can you create a number statistics of undocumented
I didn't get my question answered.
I'm so sorry. I know, but I don't think that I've gotten my point across. Now it's just about
I don't think
racism.
that you're going to have an opportunity to until after you answer my question.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. Ask your question again, Dean.
Is it racist to agree with the sentiment of hating black people?
Is it racist to agree with the sentiment of hating? That would be racist. Now, how can you? Can't you easily? There are people that probably follow me that accidentally follow me. Like I would have accidentally reposted.
So if that's racist, and then your repost is racist, right?
And you're not going to ask me if I'm racist. I am not racist.
Can we
I
agree
think
that
everyone.
Listen, at the bare minimum, can we agree that your repost is racist?
No, that was probably an accidental repost. There is a spot where your thumb can go and repost it. You don't have like confirm a repost.
Listen,
you can't repost and then confirm it.
I'm going to be honest. I would be more sympathetic to the statement, oh, it was an accident. If you weren't up here telling me that I look like a Chinese person, if you weren't up here, if you weren't up here telling me that mass deportation is so awesome, and it's because they all commit crimes. If you weren't up here perpetuating the idea that 15% of the population commits 55% of the crimes, and then affirm that you knew that was misinformation. For all the stars to align is very unlikely. For all the stars to align, to have somebody that is knowingly perpetuating racist misinformation, telling me I look like I'm fucking Chinese. I still don't know how to take that one. That one was just strange. Especially because it was dubbing. It was about the dub. That one was just the dubbing. That was a weird comment. And then, about the immigrants committing all the crimes. And for that to align with an accidental repost saying that you agree with the sentiment of hating black people. I'm just describing the facts.
No, you're not. You don't look Chinese. I was saying that your video was lagging compared to your audio. And you were like, what are you talking about?
You said that
So I
was
tried
like
to
I
give you
looked Chinese
something
because
that
it
you
was
could.
lagging. That one was just weird. That one was like
Yeah.
that one was like that one
So
was weird.
so with that, I'm just fuck it. You're stupid, right? And that's why you said that. So Dean,
What are you
what she was
talking?
trying to speak to, yeah, quiet. What she was speaking to was the older kung fu movies around the same time where there was rampant xenophobia within Hollywood, and they perpetuated like certain stereotypes. You can even talk about black exploitation films and things like that. Regardless, it was a really bad dubbing where you could watch like the old kung fu movies where their mouth would be moving and there would be no words, and then the words would pick up or whatever, whatever. But she's not emotionally intelligent enough to understand that, like, hey, that was rooted in xenophobia. You should not be perpetuating that, and that's not something you should come on live saying. You're stupid.
Well,
Anyway,
I
go ahead.
mean, you just said that it was in kung fu movies. That's a good
Yes, that was
relation to
steeped in
explain
it
the
was steeped
situation.
in xenophobia. It's from the fucking 70s. It's from the 70s, around the same time as black exploitation films. Back when they used to say dynamite and they used to wear bell bottoms. It's the
Okay.
same thing.
All right, Santana, can I ask you for some help?
No, 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 no. You can't. No, I
Dean, can I
refuse.
ask you for some help
Absolutely. No, no.
on
Are
how
you
to
white?
explain
Are
something?
you no, no, no. Are you white?
Why are you asking my
Yes or no?
color?
Just simple question. Are you white?
No.
Then what's your race?
Why would you want to know my race?
Why are you lying?
Well, why would I be lying?
Listen, now I'm curious. Like,
I'm a mix.
okay,
What the
like,
fuck? So are you a puppy? What do you mean you're mixed? Are you biracial?
Why are you asking me what color I am? What if I was asking you what color you are?
he
A
would
Would you
black man.
he
Answer.
would say
Answer.
black. Like what's what? That was a bad example. You would say black.
okay?
So what race are you?
People would see me and they would say that I look Caucasian.
Okay, so you're a white woman because you present as a white woman, so you're a white woman. So yeah, don't ask black people to help you when it comes to racism. Actually, go educate
Why?
yourself
So I can't.
because you
That's
should
racist
because
itself.
no, it's not. You don't
You
understand
should be
race
able
nor
to ask
racism.
anybody.
You don't understand race nor racism. You don't need black people to labor for you as far as your deconstruction. So if you want to actually become someone who's anti-racist, if you want to actually deal with those things, then maybe you should go educate yourself, or maybe you should find someone who is also deconstructing and actually get feedback from them before you go to a black person and say, "Hey, can you help me not be racist?" It doesn't work that way.
I
It
wasn't
doesn't work that
asking
way.
about racism. I wasn't. Hey, Dean, how would you explain a video where someone's words were not matching with the video? And if you said my words like that and you wanted to
I
find
would say
something to compare it
I'd
to,
say poorly dubbed.
poorly dubbed. I'm 40. I'm not right. I'm not really like
And that's why I
with
said you're
those
stupid
things.
and you reported. That's why I
Here's,
said you're
Yeah.
stupid and I
Listen.
let you have
Listen.
that.
Yeah, that one.
I'm
Listen,
actually very
being like
educated.
no, being like super fair. That was a pretty like stupid remark. Like that. I'm being as fair as possible. Like I like that was pretty stupid. I'm
Even
really trying to
Santana
be
said it
fair.
was kung fu. What is kung fu? Like a kung fu movie.
You
Is
said
that not comparing?
you told Dean you look Chinese. That
I did
was
not tell him he
stupid.
looked Chinese.
I
You
He does
did.
not
literally have
look
been
You
Chinese.
did.
listening the whole time. You said that. You
I
said
said
you
his
look
video
Chinese.
was what the fudge?
That's why Dean said, "Why would you
So you
say
know
that?"
what?
It was
I've
so
talked to Dean
ridiculous.
like 5 times. Never one of those times have I ever thought that he was Chinese, Japanese, not even part of it. I was trying to make a comparison to what his video was doing on my screen. It looked like a video where Chinese people were delayed talking. Or, as you referred to it, Santana, Kung Fu. You guys are trying to assassinate my character right now.
Kung Fu is a type of martial arts. There used to be Kung Fu movies. Kung Fu movies in the 70s that were steeped in xenophobia, had bad dubbing. As Dean said, you could say bad dubbing, or you can just say you have a lag. The point is, the reason why I said you're stupid.
I did say you have a lag. You can rewind it.
No, you didn't.
You can Dean, you got this on YouTube. Rewind it, please. Please stop telling me I'm lying about that.
Listen.
Can we please talk about politics?
You're saying that we're trying to assassinate your character.
Stop assassinating my character.
I'm not.
Politics is what we're here for.
Listen. It's kind of dumb to look at somebody who is like has a delay between their voice and their mouth moving and say that they look Chinese because you've seen a poorly dubbed Chinese film before. Like,
hey Dean,
if my mom said that, I'd say that was stupid. If my liberal friend said that, I would say that was stupid.
I will pay you $100 if you can go back and find the clip to where I say, Dean, you look like you are Chinese. I will give you $100.
Sure, I'll take that bet.
I did not say that.
I'll take that bet. Don't worry,
Santana.
Why? Because you know I'm right.
No, you aren't going to help me.
No.
You said
I will take that 100. You know what? I will take that $100 bet from you.
That's your bet.
I will take that $100 bet from you because I've been listening this entire time.
Cool. The evidence, but you're not getting the money sticks.
Okay, we're going to do it right now.
Okay. There are other people.
100 days, and we'll see who runs out first.
The campaigning that this movie
was executive order number 1 for what? No. Was
own program.
Gracious. What world are we living in? What world are we living in? What world are we living in? Hey, do you support Trump? Bite the bullet. You're in the stream. You do.
I am. Again.
Okay. All right. I'd love for you to pick up maybe where the last guest left off. No, you're lagging.
You're lagging pretty bad on me.
You're lagging.
I mean, like your voice is like not moving with you look like a Chinese person.
What?
Oh God. Your lips. I guess it's my phone. I don't
you
know.
owe us $100.
Oh my God.
But it's what you said. You literally said that. That's what we've been saying.
I'm so sorry, Dean. That I owe you $100, but that is not what I meant. You don't look like you're a Chinese guy. So you got blue eyes, right? You got blue eyes? Do you? I don't know. I mean, like
Hey, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Hey, Bite the Bullet, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All of the pay links are in our bio. Dean's is on his screen. Mine is in my bio. Santana speaks for you. We're both waiting on our $100 each.
The fuck do you mean?
I already told you that I'm not paying you, Santana.
You literally just said, yes, Santana, you can do it too. You said that. Before Dean played it, you agreed. Oh, fucking.
No, I told you I wasn't going to pay you $100.
What the fuck do you mean?
Yeah, why would I pay you $100?
You literally said that.
You said I won't help you.
That. You literally said yes.
Well, I will give you that $100, Dean. Santana.
Hey, double or nothing. Double or nothing. Double or nothing. If you double or nothing, if you didn't say that. Exactly.
I don't care.
Exactly.
You told me I'm black. I'm not going to help you. Why would I want to send you $100?
Because you made a bet, but then now you're backing out of your bet because your word means nothing.
You understand that I called you stupid, right?
You called me stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you call a lot of people stupid. You actually assassinate a lot of people's characters. Sometimes, me and you, we actually have some respectable debates. This had really went sideways. We didn't even really talk about politics.
Hey.
We were on the point of immigration.
Hey, I want to see, hey, instead of sending me $100, because you owe me that, right? You admit that?
Right.
Instead of sending me $100, instead, you could send Santana $75.
No.
Instead of sending me $100, you can send Santana $50.
Why would I want to help somebody who wouldn't? First of all, it's not helping because it's a bet. But he told me.
Wait. So
he's not going to help me.
Wait. So are you more willing? You're willing to lose out on money versus not be racist. You're willing to lose out on money instead of not being racist.
They're restricted.
I gotta remove
negative stereotypes. Yeah.
Yeah. Please avoid promoting negative stereotypes and generalizations about other groups of people. You know what?
Yeah.
I rarely see the TikTok warnings get it right. I'll say this one was spot on. I will say that one's spot on. Dude, she was loony. Yeah, I mean, that's so crazy. That was crazy, man. She's gone. We're gonna move on to the next guest. The guests on the stream today, Santana, have been like insane.
Bro, I've been listening the whole time. Like I've been listening for the last hour and a half or so.
Yeah.
So I've heard them. Hey,
Yeah.
I just want to say a quick couple of thank yous, and I'm gonna get out of your way because I still have to do some other stuff. So, like, I was literally just listening and like, what is this lady talking about?
No worries. While Santana's saying a couple thank yous, guys, hop in that queue if you support Trump. I'll get you up here.
Joshua, thank you for the 10. Yes, she was literally talking about black fatigue. Quana, thank you for the 20, for the coffee, L energy drink, whatever you need to reset from this racist woman. Yes, it's Kiana. I'm sorry, Kiana. That's how you pronounce it. Thank you for doing that phonetically. And Lisa, thank you so much for the $15. So I appreciate everyone. And Dina, I appreciate you as well. I'm gonna get out of here, bro.
I mean, I appreciate you for joining, man. Feel free to join like whenever you want to. I enjoy having you up here.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
You take care, man. You take care. Also, bite the bullet if you're still watching. You owe me $100. My Venmo, my PayPal are in the link tree in the bio, as well as they're like right on top of the phone screen. You owe me $100. So you should send that like right now because you owe me that. You made the bet. You owe me the $100. So you need to pay up. You need to pay up. Right now. You need to pay up right now. Okay? We're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute. Zach with the $10 on Super Chat saying I'm 41 and I've never used my age as an excuse to be racist. Yeah. You'd assume it's common sense. John with the $5. Thank you so much. Alien with a 2, Maxwell with a 2, and James with the $5 as well. And then Zach with another $20 over on Super Chat saying, quote unquote, I'm not racist. Here's some racism. Shoes off the walls, man. We got her out of here. She was so racist. Even like fucking TikTok gave a message saying don't promote racial stereotypes. Even like TikTok. I've never seen TikTok do that before. I'm not gonna lie. I've literally never seen TikTok do that before. Crunchy with the $10 on Super Chat. Thank you. Nessie with the $10 and then Ryan with the 10 pounds. Thank you, you guys. I appreciate you guys so much for the love over on Super Chat. If you are watching over on TikTok, you guys, apparently she just sent a rose. Send $100 right now to the Veer the P. Welcome in. Do you support Trump? No, she left. Go to put a MAGA with your age down below in that chat and only hop in that queue if and only if you are MAGA and you support Trump. I'll happily get you up here. Nina, thank you for the $25 over on Venmo. Thank you, Nina. Guys, let's get 250 Nina W. Seriously, thank you so much. Nina said she just keeps digging herself into a deeper hole. Yup. As well as Naughty with the $10 as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'm really sorry to hear that has happened to you. I read your message. I'm really sorry to hear about that. As well as Tammy with the $10 saying currently visiting Colorado for Michigan and I love it here. Oh, let's go. It is pretty nice in CO. I love it here too. Let me tell you. As well as Tava with the $20 saying, I love you, Dean. I don't know how you put up with these people. Man, it's rough, but I've gotten used to it. Josh with the $10 saying, pleasantly surprised to hear you on the I've Had It podcast. I really enjoyed going on there. Tava with another $5 to help pay for the therapy. Anya with a 5 and Show with a 3. Thank you guys. Okay, welcome in. What's going on? Do you support Trump? Panda?
Sorry. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi. Do you support Trump?
Hi. No, actually, I don't.
Based. Moving on to the next guest. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up in the queue. Up in the box if you support Trump. Up in the box. Let's go. Welcome in. Are you MAGA?
So basically, the guy in the profile photo is Goob. And eventually, it's revealed that he's actually the man in the bowler hat.
Oh, very nice. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I got nothing. I just thought this would be funny. I'm high as fuck.
Okay, you enjoy the rest of your evening. Let's go to move on to the next guest right now. We got Zavis loaded up into the box. Guys, give us a minute. Yo, Q, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo saying we could see the warning on your live. Not sure if you need a restart. No, I don't need a restart because of the warning. Not those types of warnings. I'm all good. We're going to move on to the next guest. Show some love to Q down below for the $10 though. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Hey, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Is Parker gonna run on your account?
No, my accounts are banned. Are you MAGA?
No, I just want to ask you a question. Sorry.
Banned. Keep in mind, we are banning people that don't support Trump. You know. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Are you MAGA? Just Star. Are you MAGA? Please respond to me. No, guess not. Moving on to Kyle. Here we go, everyone. Yeah, we are on Parker's account. Because mine got banned again. Again. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Let me tell you. It's ridiculous. All right, guys, we're going to go down to no tolerance. We're at no tolerance right now. If you joined up, oh, wrong one. If you join up and you're not MAGA, you're going to get banned. Take a good look at the rules before you decide that you want to join. They're in the middle of your phone screen. Please follow them right now. We have 8.2 thousand people watching the live, but for whatever reason, we only have 20 guest requests. Good Lord. Good Lord. Good Lord. Hi. Do you support Trump? Then you're going to get banned. Look at that. Rule breakers get banned. Please stop breaking the rules. Like, please. Please. Bill left. Moving on to the next guest, guys. Follow the rules. Please. Banned on Parker's account? Yup. Now you won't be able to enjoy Parker's lives.
Banned on Parker's account?
Hi, are you MAGA?
Dean, I love you. You're so amazing.
Thank you for the love, but you just got banned, and you will never see me ever again. I'm sorry. I am really sorry. I feel terribly bad. But I said no tolerance. No tolerance, man. No tolerance. Hi, do you support Trump? Joy, thank you for the $2 on PayPal. You got about 5 seconds before you get banned too. Banned. Moving on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute. It's going to get that next guest loaded into the box. I hate to ban people. I really do. It's not fun. But we're going to be banning everybody that breaks the rules today. Hi, do you support Trump?
Yes, I do. Do you hear me perfectly fine?
I sure do. Why do you have a picture of me and Parker as your profile picture?
Well, that's because I'm actually on my friend's account. He wanted me to debate you because he's a Democrat. He wanted to do immigration, and I know you're pretty familiar with that because I've seen you on various other 18. Why?
What year were you born in?
I was born 2006. Is that a problem?
You can't be 18 born in 06. Actually, let me do the math. No, you can. What month were you born in?
December 7th.
Okay, you'd still be 18. Okay. Let's see what you got. Please just promise me that you're not trolling. Like, if you're not actually a Trump supporter, will you just tell me?
Like I am, and that's why I'm here to debate you on immigration.
Okay, you promise?
Yeah, I promise. And
okay, why do you support the orange fascists?
Let me get to the question. Huh?
Why do you support the orange fascists? Mr. Trump is president?
Well, it's mainly because of the certain policies he brought to, let's say, like, you know, his immigration laws. He's brought many criminals out of the country. And that's, like, typically speaking, because, let's say, Harris and Biden haven't done a lot on that part. And that's why, you know, I've kind of gone to seeing that it was a good thing that they're finally getting many of them out. And I know it's a good thing because I've had various other family members that have been suffering from that as a problem. We had a break-in, like, not too long ago. It was around, let's say, June. Yeah, June. Like, is there anything specific you want me to name, or?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that you weren't done talking. So you're telling us that you support mass deportation because you think that undocumented immigrants are criminals that break into houses, right?
Basically, yes. And it's...
Yeah, are you a natural U.S. born citizen?
Huh? Sorry?
Are you a natural U.S. born citizen?
Yes.
You're 3 times more likely to commit a crime by breaking into somebody's house than an undocumented immigrant. Should we deport you first?
No, because I haven't committed the crime. So.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that we shouldn't deport undocumented immigrants that haven't committed like crimes inside of the country? I agree. That's mass amnesty.
Like that. Now you're twisting the words because we're talking about criminals here, not about generalization about different people.
So are you pretty like tough on criminals?
Yes, because
then why did you put one in the Oval Office?
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I have no counter for that. That's actually pretty fair.
Okay. Anything else you want to go over?
Yeah, just one more question on abortion. Like, can I ask the question?
Are you pro-life?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that?
Like on certain circumstances, though, because I'm not
circumstances?
yeah, like I would allow it, like let's say for various other reasons, like if it were rape, if it were.
So why do you think it should be banned in elective circumstances?
Because using it as a like means to have like birth control, or let's say the means to use it for genetic.
So why is women controlling birth wrong? Can we just like think about it? Like birth is a biological process that would take place inside of the body of the woman.
It begins at conception.
So why are women wanting to control birth? Why is that wrong?
It's wrong necessarily because you're looking at a human life here. You're looking at.
Okay, so you're just telling me that it's like murder to kill, like so it has a heartbeat.
Yes, it does.
So before it has a heartbeat, you don't think it's wrong to kill it?
Like at that point, it would be using the pill for that. So like you're not killing like a individual if they don't have like any properties that indicate that they're alive yet, because at conception.
So you don't think it's alive until it has a heartbeat?
Necessarily.
Can we agree that organic biological material can exist in 1 of 2 states? It's either alive or dead.
That's it's pretty complicated then.
Can we agree or do we disagree? Organic biological material can only exist in 2 states: alive and dead.
Yeah, I think we can.
Okay, and then you said it is alive the moment it gains a heartbeat, meaning that it's dead before it has a heartbeat, yet it's growing. So are we all just zombies?
No.
But I thought a zombie was going from being dead to alive, and you're telling me it goes from being dead before 7 weeks before the heartbeat to being alive at 8 weeks with a heartbeat. So we're all just zombies.
No, but that's also like including like brain waves and like different other factors that not just also conclude to only a heartbeat. Because yes, I did mention a heartbeat specifically, but
so when is life
from
start?
what I was at conception.
But I thought you just told me it started at the heartbeat.
No, like that's when I mentioned like that is when like we can
no wait you just said no, you just said that you didn't say that. You did say that. I'll go ahead and roll it back because you did say that
video where Chinese people were delayed talking.
1 second. Can we just like think about it? Like birth is a biological process that would take place inside of the body of the woman.
It begins at conception.
So why are women wanting to control birth? Why is that wrong? YouTube just crashed. Give me a second. Oh my god. Sorry, chat. Process that would take place. So you're just telling me that it's like murder to kill, like so it has a heartbeat.
Yes, it does.
So before it
And
has a heartbeat, you don't think it's wrong to kill it?
like at that point, it would be using the pill for that. So like you're not killing like a individual if they don't have like any properties that indicate that they're alive yet.
So you did say that life starts at the heartbeat.
I guess you can basically put it there.
But you just told me that life begins at conception.
But I'm talking about like the process of like beginning to go to those stages.
So is that when life starts, or is it not when life starts?
Like not when life starts.
So life doesn't start at conception.
No, like in conception is when it begins, like going to that process.
Wait, what begins? How can it begin to go through any process if it's not alive?
Well, like how do you think that the sperm would even like get there? Obviously, like
because the sperm is alive.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to mention, that it has a followed path. Like obviously,
but no, you're saying that it's dead, right? So is it dead at the moment of conception?
No.
So it's alive, because we already agreed that organic material can only be alive or dead. So if it's not dead, then it's alive, but you just said it wasn't alive.
I think I might have a lot to rethink here.
Yeah. Like, this is 9th grade biology. If you can't understand 9th grade biology, you shouldn't be voting for legislation to infringe upon women and girls' access to healthcare.
True. To be fair, I didn't like vote yet or anything. I didn't go to the offices. Because by the time I got to 18,
even support. You shouldn't
I
support banning women's access to healthcare if you don't even understand 9th grade biology about said access to healthcare.
All right. So then what would you recommend me to view, and then what would you recommend me to learn
Yeah,
more
I'll give you a
about
really good recommendation. Stay the fuck out of women's access to healthcare and do a little bit research on the side, so by the time you get, I guess, are you straight?
Yes.
So by the time you get your first girlfriend, you'll understand the bare
First
essentials
girlfriend?
about her body. Stay the fuck out of women's access to healthcare and do some research on the side, so when you get your first girlfriend, you will understand the bare essentials about her body. That's all.
Wait, but
I feel like that's the best recommendation I could give to you. What's that?
Like what does getting a girlfriend have to do with any of this?
Oh yeah, for sure, right? Because it is a good boyfriend thing to do, to understand the bare essentials about the female anatomy. Right?
True, but not all women.
You should understand the bare essentials about female anatomy. The bare essentials about the process of ovulation and beginning stages of pregnancy if you're going to have a partner. I feel like that's just such a fair recommendation.
True, but you can also learn it through different various websites on
right. I'm telling you, you
internet.
should do that research before you get the girlfriend.
But what if I had one now, which I do?
Well, then you should really fucking hop too.
All right. Just before I go, because there's a lot more people on the live that are waiting.
We're going to go and hop on to the next guest. Here we go. I feel like that's like a very decent gentleman thing to do, is to understand the bare essentials about, if you're straight, to understand the bare essentials about the female anatomy, about ovulation, periods and pregnancy. Just understanding the bare essentials about those things is a very good gentleman thing to do. So that's my very fair, non-political recommendation to you. Welcome in, Triz. Oh, Triz left. We're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute. Hop in that queue of you, Sport Trump. I'd love to load you up here. As well as I have two big shout-outs here. So first and foremost, this came in like an hour ago, and I'm sorry that I didn't see it. But Mr. Dude, Jay, thank you so much for the $100 over on PayPal. Oh my goodness. Jay, it's so good to see you again. I hope that you've been doing well, Jay, and thank you so much for the $100. Jay says, just sat back and watched you and Parker figure the stuff out. When you did, I did a fist pump in the air and I yelled, I knew they could do this, to no one in particular. And don't get me started on that one guy yesterday who came onto your stream and compared you and Parker's energy. Both of you guys remain the debate rockers of my lifetime. Love always. Yeah, so that's like a donation like from literally 2 hours ago. Jay, I'm literally so sorry that I didn't see it until now. I feel really bad. If we could all please show some extra love to Jay in the live chats, it would mean the world to me. As well as that's just so much money. Thank you for the $100. As well as Mia. Mia, thank you for the $100 over on PayPal as well. Holy crap. Thank you, Mia. Mia, with 100 big ones, says, I love what you do, and these people don't have brain cells. Keep on doing what you're doing. Dude, I love you. Thank you so much, Mia and Jay. If everybody watching can please show some very special love to me and Jay in the comment sections, it would mean so much to me. Just thank you. Just thank you. It is really meaningful. Thank you. Also, somebody just said something cool in my comment section. They said, Dean, you don't need to say straight. It's everyone's responsibility. You know, actually, I agree with that. I shouldn't have asked that guy if he was straight. Regardless of who you're attracted to, you should know the bare essentials about the female anatomy. Good correction. Hey, now Erica, welcome in. Do you support Trump? Nope. By the way, oh, wait, actually, this is going to be quick. She's only going to be up here for like 30 seconds, max. Where's my $100?
I don't use Venmo or PayPal.
You don't?
I have one. No, I don't.
So do you use Cash App?
Yep.
Okay, really? Because guess what?
Yeah.
In my link tree, right... Give me a second. 5, 4. Right now, under the Venmo and Cash App, you could find my Cash App on my link tree right now.
Okay, so I don't know what that means.
Okay, well, so it's a link in my bio. It's where you could see all my links. You can see it links you to my PayPal, my Venmo, and my Cash App. Yeah,
Okay,
it's the cash sign Dean Debates, DEANDEBATES.
Okay. Well, I do want you to know that I
Whoa, just quickly. Can you pay the $100
I wasn't
first?
calling you an Asian person. Yeah, I can.
100 right now. Could you do that?
Let's see here.
Oh, in fact, I'll even put it up on screen for you, because you said Cash App, right? You said Cash App, right? So if you come back to the TikTok live, you'll be able to say it. You'll be able to see it right there. Jessica, I appreciate you for the $5 over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Jess. As well, Serenity, thank you for the 10. Serenity says, Dean, you have done great work for people like me who are fed up with MAGA but cannot articulate an argument without crashing out from the absolute incompetence MAGA has. Thank you for being a voice for us. Well, thank you for being here, Serenity. And I try my best to maintain my patience, but it is difficult at times. As well as Jessica, thank you once again with the $5. Okay. So by the way, guess I can't hear you because you're on pause, but if you want to know what like precisely my Cash App is, it is literally floating in the middle of the screen right now on TikTok. Just $100 right there. Take a good look. There you go. You came back and you left again. Take a good look. Yo, Alexandria with the $2 on Cash App for quote unquote owning the racist. Thank you so much. Ryan, thank you so much for the $5 on Venmo, and Jillian with the $10 on YouTube Super Chat. Jillian says it's a 1 + 2 zeros. Let's see if she does it. Yo, Dylan, thank you for the $10 over on Cash App, saying love you. I love you too, Dylan. Thank you for the 10. Then Aiden with a $1 saying hello. Hello, Aiden. She hasn't done it yet. Chat, I have a plan. Chat. I have a plan. You haven't done it yet. Well, while she's doing that, we'll go ahead and get another Trump supporter up in here just to talk to in the meantime.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Hi. Hi.
So there's 3 people that look like you. I don't want to send it to the wrong one. I've typed in the $ capital DEAN capital DEBATES, and it's not allowing me to send it, but there are 3 other people
It won't allow you to send it?
Well, it's so my $100 send is not turning green. It's gray still, as if I'm missing information. No, I'm going to send it to you, but I'm just telling you, I don't want to send it to the wrong person.
It's the account of it's just Dean
What's
Debates.
your picture?
What's
your picture?
It's just literally Dean Debates. It's a picture of me sitting in my car, looking like this, with a blazer on. Let's see if we could zoom in here on the picture. If you're just stumbling into the live, she owes me $100. It's that one. It's just me looking to the side. I understand you could probably barely see it, but still, yeah.
Sent it.
Damn, she did send it. How would you feel if I sent 50 of that to Santana?
You can do whatever you feel like doing with it, but I mean, for him to say that he wasn't going to help me with a question, I wanted to know how I can word something differently. I want to be able to grow and learn, but I don't want to help someone. I don't want to send something to someone who says they're not going to help. Like, everybody here wants to grow.
I appreciate you for being true to your word. Now get the fuck out of my life. We're gonna move on to the next guest. She actually did it. Chat. I need to let Santana know I got $50 for him. Yo, I got $50 for you. just set up the text. Just set up the text, chat. Literally just set up the text. Yo, I got $50 for you. Oh man. All right, we're gonna move on to the next guest. I'm really surprised that she actually did it. That's impressive. Jessica, I appreciate you for the $5 on Venmo saying, oh, and fuck Donald Trump. Yo, so real. Sarah with a $10 saying, because I watch you every day, keeping you and fighting for the right side of history. Thank you, Sarah. Jessica with a $5. I appreciate you so much for the love. Then Nancy with a $25 saying, as a biology major who works in healthcare, I appreciate you trying to educate the idiots who know nothing. Dude, that last guy literally knew nothing. Ryan and Jessica, once again, I appreciate you both for the 5. Serenity with a 10. Thank you. Then M with a 5 on Cash App. Amber with a 5 on Cash App. Then Amy with a $10. Thank you so much for the love, Amy. You guys are awesome. Thank you all so much for the love. Then Dylan with a $10 for here's another 10 while you wait for the 100. No, she actually sent it. I'm being dead serious. She sent the 100. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you for the love on Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App. If you want to support me on either 3 of those, you can find them in the link tree in the bio. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Nope.
Okay. Goodbye. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute, y'all, while we work on getting that next guest loaded up into the live stream. Let's go ahead and see what they have to say. Yo, for people saying in the chat, she paid $100 to try and talk to you and you booted her. You're coming in late. We had her up for like 40 minutes. Glinda, thank you for the $10 over on Cash App. I really appreciate you for that love. Thank you, Glinda. Let's go ahead and try to load up that next Trump supporter right now, though. As well as XAN. Thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. Thank you, XAN. That's very kind of you. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Well, I did peanut butter and jellies because, like, I wanted something to eat at night.
Well, I don't think she knows that she's on the live. All right, we're gonna move on to the next guest, everybody. Josie, thank you for the $5 on Venmo, asking what happened with the wedding drama. So husband reached out to my girlfriend, or husband-to-be reached out to my girlfriend, said that he finally saw the screenshots of the communications that we had years ago. And he said that he had a grossly different interpretation of what had happened. And after reading the screenshots, he now understands that he was the issue. He apologized profusely and just made it clear that we're both invited. Yeah. Logan, I sent you an invite to unmute. Also, I just want to say this to the last guest, whatever her name was, bite the bullet. If you're seriously curious and like learning about how to like deconstruct, you know, maybe some of the racist things that you believe in, etc. She just requested a refund. If you're seriously interested in learning about how to deconstruct some of the racist things that you believe in, you should tune in to a bunch of great creators on TikTok. There's a bunch. There's a bunch of great creators. Santana's one of them. There's also people like Athena and a whole lot of other people, you know, as well as myself. Obviously, I think that other creators are going to be significantly more educated than I am, especially as it comes to racism, especially black creators. But I mean, these are all forces that can help push you in the right direction. Just if you're genuinely interested. Because I do believe in offering.
Good evening, brother. How you
Welcome
doing? Good evening, everybody.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I do believe in offering individuals like pathways to like deconstruct their bigoted belief. And that's kind of like obviously the reason why I do what I do. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, for sure I support Trump.
Okay. How old are you?
I think that I'm 30 years old.
Okay. And you support Trump. Why is that?
I think what he's done internationally is good. I think it's good what he's done with Cuba, meeting with Kim Jong-un in North Korea, him trying to stop the conflict in Ukraine, you know, inviting both the leaders for talks.
Yeah, I think that he's been a little bit of a dud on Russia and Ukraine. I think that he's finally started to get with the program, though. I will say, I think he's finally started to get with the program. But getting with the program has now just been conceding to what the Democrats wanted all along, right? So he stopped funding to Ukraine on day one, right? And then like 175 days into his presidency on July 11th, he resumed it because he realized that actually put more pressure onto Russia into accepting a fair peace agreement and ending the war, right? But like all this is predicated on him originally advocating against that notion, but then being proven wrong because Russia just inflamed their fight against Ukraine, dropped more bombs, killed more people, and so on. He conceded to what the Democrats wanted all along. You should be looking at the Democrats and saying thank you.
Oh, like if you're asking me, I think both the Democrats and Republicans are idiots. But if I have to choose somebody, then I would definitely choose Trump over Joe Biden. But I think
I think that you're the idiot then, because you're telling me that Donald Trump
can I just finish?
is the better option for, you know, taking the Democrats' plans after fighting so hard against it for the last 200 days.
I mean, the Democrats and the Republicans are both warmongers.
This doesn't change what I'm saying, though. What I'm saying is that the Democrats' plan all along was to continue to put more international pressure on Russia into ending the war by helping Ukraine. Donald Trump ran on doing the opposite. He did do the opposite. Ukraine was hit harder. Global tensions were inflamed. Then 175 days into his presidency, he conceded that his plan was shit and resumed the funding, doing exactly what the Democrats wanted to do all along. Why won't you respond to that?
Well, I don't think that anybody should be funding and putting any money towards wars. You know, Obama did the same thing. Joe Biden did the same thing. The Democrats aren't any better at funding foreign wars, and I think
we absolutely should be sending money to Ukraine. It is not only moral, but it's strategic.
You think America should be sending money to other countries in order to unalive people?
I think we should absolutely be sending money to Ukraine. 110%. It's a no fucking brainer.
But you think you're saying that America should send money to Ukraine. I just want you to tell me, do you want America to send money to Ukraine for weapons?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
You want money to send America to Ukraine for them to unalive people. That's okay with you?
Yeah, so about 3 weeks ago, I had a stalker shoot a BB gun at me and my girlfriend when we were out and driving. My dad's response to that was to give me a shotgun for self-defense. Did he do something wrong, knowing that I may one day have to use that shotgun against a stalker that breaks into my house at night?
Sorry, you're talking about gun rights. So
can you tell me my dad did something wrong?
I think it's okay for America to support countries using food and other.
You're not answering my question.
What, tell me your question again.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I had some like crazy lunatic shoot a BB gun at me and my girlfriend when we were driving in my car. In response to that, my dad gave me a shotgun for like self-defense.
You were driving to your car?
Driving in my car. if I was to use that shotgun that my dad gave me in self-defense and like kill a home invader, do you think my dad would have been doing something wrong by giving me that shotgun?
Well, you said you were driving in your car and somebody shot a BB gun at you, so I don't know how you would be affected by that.
What?
I don't understand. You said that you were driving in your car and somebody shot a BB gun at you.
Right.
So how would that hit you?
Because
how was
my
that
windows were down.
How was that a home invasion? It's not a home invasion when you're driving in your car.
Right, but what it demonstrated is there's a lot of really crazy people that live in my town that really don't like me. Right, so in response to that, my dad gave me a shotgun to prevent a crazy stalker from coming into my house and trying some even crazier shit. So would it be wrong if I use that shotgun in an act of self-defense? Would it be wrong for my dad to give me that shotgun in the first place?
It depends to what extent that self-defense is. If you're driving in a car and somebody's shooting a BB gun at you, I assume it's not doing anything. But if somebody breaks into your home and you use that shotgun, then I don't.
Right. That's why I didn't say my dad gave me a shotgun. So next time somebody shoots a BB gun at me while I'm in my car, I fucking kabloom. I fucking take them out. But rather, if like a crazier stalker invades my home, this was all prefaced in the original question.
Yeah, but I just don't agree with America sending weapons.
So then you're still not answering the question. Wow.
I've answered the question. I've said that if you're driving in your car.
Did my dad do something right or wrong by giving me that shotgun?
I don't. It was wrong that he gave you that shotgun.
It was wrong?
Yes.
Why?
Because you're not responding proportionally. Because you're not responding proportionally to it. If somebody attacks you with fists and you use a knife, that's wrong. If somebody attacks you with a knife and you use a gun, that's wrong. I think the response should be proportionate.
So you think if like some crazy stalker broke into my house and threatened me and my girlfriend's life, I would be in the wrong for taking them out with a shotgun?
No, but I think that if somebody's shooting you at a BB gun in a car and your dad gives you a shotgun, yes, I think he's wrong.
See, that was such a stupid response that everybody watching right now could tell you exactly why. I don't even need to tell you, right? Because this has kind of been gone over already like 3 times. Like, are the people that I talk to on live just like not even sentient, right?
Yeah,
as I already repeated, he didn't give me that shotgun to use against somebody shooting a BB gun at me in my car. He gave me that shotgun to use as a tool of home defense if a crazier stalker broke into my house and threatened the life of me and my girlfriend.
Okay, but people don't just go in houses to threaten lives, right? That doesn't happen very often. They might be going in your house because they want money or food or something. So I think that's definitely overkill. And there's 2 different types of things, right? The Ukraine-Russia issue is it's a completely different analogy.
So the question was literally, if I use that shotgun to unalive a home invader that was threatening my life.
Yeah, but like I'm talking about a war and you're talking about a house. So
Actually,
you're not actually...
We're both talking about self-defense. Wow. I'm done with you. I don't know why it took me 25 minutes. That was a little hyperbolic. I don't know why it took me like 10 minutes to just get a response to my question. Dude, some people. Let's see here. Kate, thank you for the $15 over on Venmo saying, remember when you said you were going to take the day off? Lol, love you, man. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you, Kate. I do remember when I said that, and it is not something that I am doing. I'd also like to quickly thank Mary. Thank you for the $20 over on PayPal saying thank you for all that you do. Thank you, Mary. You are awesome. As well as Tumas, that is Tuomas with the $11 saying, hey, Dean, you've been an insane inspiration to me and hundreds of thousands of others. You're amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Shout out to Mary and Tumas down below in that chat. As well as Tyrese with the $10 over on Cash App was asking me what flavor my anxiety pin is. Miami Mint. Glinda with the $10 from Lazy Artist. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Glinda. Connor, thank you so much for the $2 on Cash App. And then Dylan for the 10. Thank you, guys. And now I have to turn off Cash App once again because they've already limited me. If you're curious why we don't like typically accept donations over on Cash App, it's because after around 15 of them, Cash App just turns off my ability to receive donations for 24 hours. It's pretty ridiculous. It is pretty ridiculous. Now, listen. We got a restriction on the live. It's not sending out anymore. What should we do? Should we just continue to do debates, or should I just quickly restart so it can send out again? But looking at the queue, we low-key might need to hit that restart. Not gonna lie, the queue's looking a little empty. Yeah, we should just hit the restart, just so we can find debates. Low-key. Hi, are you MAGA?
Dean, I had a question.
Are you MAGA?
Somewhat.
Somewhat? What does that mean? Yeah. Like, overall, is Trump a good president?
I think I like him more.
Okay. Yeah, everybody, we're going to go ahead and do a restart, especially just for, like, the safety of Parker's account. We need to be super, like, cautious with Parker's account. I don't want to get Parker's account banned. We're going to go ahead and hit a restart. If you want to know how to come back after the restart, right now hit that follow button. At the end of the day, if you can't follow the instructions that I'm about to give you, you'll at least be able to find me on your following list. So hit that big old follow button in the top left-hand corner. Do that now while I'm explaining the instructions on how to come back after the restart. So once the live ends, right, because I'm going to end the live to do the restart, you will see this pop up on your phone screen. This. Once you see this pop up on the phone screen, click on the profile picture right there. Once you click on the profile picture, you will then be directed to Parker's account page. Parker's account page will look like this. Once you're on his account page, count to 10, refresh, and click on the profile picture again, and you'll be directed into the new live after the restart.